This week's episode of The People Movers Court will not be seen in order to bring you the following.
You've just tuned into That Really Swell Podcast. The voice of all things themed entertainment.
I'm going on to Fantasyland, my favorite of all the lands since I was a kid.
Really?
I love fantasy because it's like it screams Magic Kingdom to me. It's like, youthful and just beautiful, fantasy, magic, all these adjectives.
You forgot fist pump.
Go to Fantasyland. Yeah! The Fantasyland had a lot of changes though since opening day in 1971. One of the things that were there that I actually remember this time is the Skyway to Tomorrowland.
Oh, yeah.
The Skyway gondola, and I'll read this. It's for a bird's eye view of Fantasyland and Tomorrowland. Each gondola can hold 4 adults, and it takes less than 5 minutes to travel from one part to the other. So go from Fantasyland to Tomorrowland. I remember that ride, and
I remember it too.
Yeah. Did you like it?
Yeah, I always liked it, except when it was super duper hot. It was pretty nasty because those seats.
It's like the metal would. Yeah.
Because that's fiberglass on top of the metal, but it was just blazing hot up there.
1999 was the last day of operation for the Skyway to Tomorrowland. I liked that ride. That's one of the ones that I actually do remember going on quite a bit.
Yeah, it lasted a long time.
Yeah, over 28 years that one was in operation.
The only place I remember is getting on it from across Small World.
Yeah, where the tangled bathrooms are now. You could kind of see like a little remnant of the loading area.
That's all. I don't remember where it went or where it ended or where you got off. I never remember.
Tomorrowland. There's bathrooms by Space Mountain. Like right above those bathrooms, you can see it too. It would go there. So from Fantasyland to Tomorrowland, it's not, it said the ride lasted about 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So I mean, to transport people, I don't really see the functionality in that because you're just going.
Well, it's just fun to see a bird's eye view of the park.
Yeah, that is fun. I get that. I would like for it to last a little longer, but
like the beloved.
I liked it when I was a kid.
People Mover, people love that.
Oh my gosh, the People Mover is amazing.
But we're not there yet.
Yes, like the people. We're not there. We are not there. So yeah, the Skyway, that I remember very few things from the opening that I do remember. 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, that I loved when I was a kid. I loved that ride.
I really can't remember if I actually loved that ride or not. I've been thinking about that one for a while now, and I'm just like, I don't remember feeling anything connected to the memory of that ride. I just don't. The only thing I remember is that I didn't like the fact that what you were just talking about earlier with the keel boats, except you're inside a locked can with theme park
sure.
BO.
Ugh. See, that stuff I didn't think about when I was a kid. I just thought it was super cool.
Well, you didn't have to think about it. You can smell it.
Well, I didn't smell it, or maybe it was there and I didn't notice, because I just thought it was so cool to be able to go down into the submarine.
Yeah.
And even though it was like all like fake fish and stuff like that, and that you would see, I just thought it was cool being in a submarine type environment. So
see, the more I remember it, the less I like it, because now I'm remembering too. I had like a Jurassic Park first time to go through experience where like, what am I even looking at? I can't. It's so murky down here. It's like I couldn't see anything.
Where are they? These animals don't want to be fed. They want to hide.
Where's the boat? Yeah.
It was a 20-minute submarine ride on the Nautilus. Kind of cool. When they closed down the ride, they sunk 2 of the Nautilus ships in Castaway Cay in Disney's private island in the Bahamas.
Is that the plural, Nautilus? Is it
Nautilus?
Nautilus?
I think that's Nautiluses.
Nautiluses?
Nautiluses. There, I think one exists to this day, if anything. But yeah, they sunk them in the Bahamas for their island. So like when you would snorkel on Disney's island, you could see the Nautilus there. So it's like a habitat for fish and all that
cool.
stuff now. So yeah, the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea closed in 1994. So that one stayed. Yeah, that wasn't bad. That one was another one that I remember, which is cool.
I'm okay with that one going.
Well, I guess. I mean, if you wanted to experience it, you can go to Disneyland and experience the Nemo ride. Same thing. Same thing. Just
this time you
Nemo.
could probably actually see something.
Yeah, I didn't go on that when we went, but I was like, wait a minute. That looks familiar.
Yeah. Maybe if they updated it here, maybe I would have been interested had they updated it.
But they have the new Fantasyland that took over that area where the Little Mermaid ride is and stuff. But for the Disney insiders, you could see a part of the silhouette of the Nautilus on the rock wall by the Little Mermaid's Under the Sea Adventure.
Where? Is that like out in the front?
I think it's out in the front, like when you exit the ride, there's like an area where it has like where you used to meet and greet with Ariel. Mm-hmm. I think around there it's there's a silhouette of the Nautilus, so they kind of like did a nod to, because that's the area where it used to be.
You know, meeting and greeting Disney. Ariel. Now that you mentioned that, I don't feel that's an authentic meet. Like she's half fish, right? Mm-hmm. I would be much more content if she were like flopping on the floor. Like a fish when you meet her and take the photo. Okay.
Half fish, not full fish. So maybe the fishy half that flops.
That'd be hilarious. Instead of her just sitting all the time. It's boring. Have her flop on the floor.
When in the movie did she ever flop?
No, this is real life. This is real world.
It's not accurate to the movie. She never flopped.
There's a lot of things that aren't accurate from the movie to real life.
She sits stationary on like some rocks and stuff, and then she could flop her tail if you're looking for the flop factor.
I mean, Pluto walks on 2 legs in the park, but he doesn't on the cartoons.
Okay, I don't understand what a man of your age is doing, worrying about how you're meeting and greeting with Ariel. You have no kids.
It doesn't matter.
Let's not worry about how Ariel is meeting and greeting right
Science
now. Okay?
must be obeyed.
Science of mermaid. Oh gosh.
Didn't you see that special on Discovery Channel? They exist.
I get those. I'm on that side of TikTok. I keep getting mermaid talk videos, and I'm like, they do exist. So yeah, Disney did a little nod to the 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea in the Ariel, the area outside of the attraction. Like Disney loves doing their nods.
Yep, sure do.
So in Fantasyland, what was there on opening day? Snow White's Adventures. I remember that one too. I remembered like all of Fantasyland.
Snow White's Adventures. Oh my God, it's horrible.
Why, the witch?
I don't remember when I went. I know I was a kid when I went, and I remember specifically that very night having nightmares.
It was probably the witch, because like they renamed it Snow White's Scary Adventures because they had to put the scary in there, and there was like this whole disclaimer because of the evil witch.
Yeah, it was creepy. She's always been creepy. So they did a good job on the design. But when you see her in 3 dimensions, in your face, in the dark.
And it's like right when you get on the ride.
In the dark, and she's moving around.
Right.
The eyes.
It's right when you enter.
And she's laughing. And the crinkly little fingers and hands. It's like, Yeah, this is nightmare fuel. So I had nightmares that night. And like, I'm never getting on this ride again. The nightmare was something like I was on the ride, and I just kept going through the ride. And it was even emptier than it was.
Like Groundhog's Day on the ride.
Like, I can't get out of this ride.
That nightmare was for you to figure something out. And once you would figure it out, then you would be able to get off the ride. So you failed yourself in that night.
It was just I couldn't get out of the ride. That's all it was.
Yeah, I remember. It was like right when you get on the ride, you see the back of the evil queen. Like you see her from the back, like with her cape and everything. And then like she spins around really fast. And then it's the old lady. Like it's like in your face, eyes bugging out and everything. And then like, you know, a while after that, they renamed it Snow White Scary Adventures.
I feel like the Imagineers at the time were like ticked off about something.
Why would that be like right when you get on the ride? It's like, you know, the kids are so happy in the little cars and stuff. And then like 2 seconds, not even like 2 seconds later.
Let's stick it to them, guys. Come on, let's stick it to them. Let's do this.
So yeah, they renamed it Snow White Scary Adventures, and then shortly after, they closed it. Guess it was too scary, but so they do have a Snow White-ish ride. Now they have Seven Dwarfs Mine Train in the same land. And in the end of Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, there is a cottage scene where if you've seen Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, Snow White dances with all the dwarfs and everything. And the animatronics at the end in that cottage scene are the same ones that were in Snow White's Adventures. Yeah. So they kind of like repurposed them for the end of the ride.
Recycle,
cool.
Reuse.
Yeah. And also another nod to the old ride.
That's cool.
And then we
have my
favorite
part about that, though, it's not so much that they reused the animatronics or the way it looks. The whole ride is fantastic. But my favorite part is the freaking creepy queen outside the window watching them while they dance. It's like, lady, what are you doing? Stop creeping.
She has a weird smile.
I think she's just jealous. She wanted to be in there dancing with them.
She wanted to. I mean, that's the thing.
I wish I had friends.
Right. They never once took the time and was like, "Would you like to join?"
Exactly.
You know,
like they never invited her
bitter. In. Exactly, and that's when people become bitter and try to poison you, and it turns into a whole thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So you got that little nod to the old Snow White ride at the end of the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which is kind of cool. And in Fantasyland, we also had Mr. Toad's Wild Ride and Mr. Toad's Wild Ride. I remember that one too. So I did a lot of Fantasyland hanging out when I was a kid.
This is where that addiction to adrenaline came in.
Mr. Toad's Wild Ride.
I think I did that one once.
Only once? Yeah. It was cool. I liked it. That one, okay, so of course Mr. Toad's Wild Ride is no longer right now. But so we have Winnie the Pooh, Adventures of Winnie the Pooh in its place. So when you go on there's another Easter egg when you go on Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. If you look to your left, you see Mr. Toad handing over the deed to the ride to Owl.
To Owl.
To Owl. So we don't know the context of it. We don't know
That's
if
so
he was
messed
like evicted or like, you know, what the reasoning behind it was, but we see Mr. Toad.
I believe because Mr. Toad has no self-control. He probably gambled everything away with race car driving or something.
The weird thing is it's a framed portrait. So it's like Owl framed it.
He loves that moment. The moment I destroyed the Toad's life.
You can pinpoint the exact minute where Toad. Oh, and so we have that Easter egg in Winnie the Pooh for Mr. Toad, right? So there's like this whole. We should do a show just on Mr. Toad. There's like so much. When you exit the Haunted Mansion on the left, there's like a cemetery, and there is a a gravestone of sorts, or it's a statue of Mr. Toad in the cemetery on the left when you exit Haunted Mansion. So is he dead?
So he gets evicted.
Then he dies.
And then he dies. Who paid for that? Owl? Owl's a sociopath.
Oh my gosh. I'm sure if there's like on the gravestone, it probably has something like paid for by Owl or whatever. I don't know.
There's an investigation to be had here, definitely.
Something's going on with Owl, man. I don't know what it is, but
he hands over the deed.
Right.
And then he passes away. I'm going to throw in under mysterious circumstances.
Under mysterious circumstances, Mr. Toad's grave is in the exit of the haunted mansion.
So that's the new ride.
Okay. So let's give it the benefit of the doubt. What if it's not a grave? Under what circumstance would they put a stone statue of a person in a cemetery? They have to be dead, right?
Yeah.
So he's dead, but how?
Yeah.
He was alive when Owl saw him and took the deed to his place.
My first person
figure this out.
to talk to is Owl. I would bring it in for questioning because something's not right.
This is an unsolved mystery. We have to get to the bottom of this. But Toad exists in Disneyland.
Okay, so the plot thickens.
The plot thickens.
Okay, wait, so we could flip this then and say, did he purposely give that to Owl and fake his death in the East Coast, and now he's living in the West Coast, gaining profit in the West Coast?
But why would he fake his death in the East Coast?
I don't know. Maybe
he owed debts.
He's got debts in the East Coast to the East Coast mob or something. I don't know. There's something dirty about the whole deal.
This is very interesting. We need to get to the bottom of
That's
what happened
the
to Mr.
ride
Toad.
I want to see. Mr. Toad's dirty deeds.
What was he hiding?
That'd be a great ride.
That would be an amazing ride.
It had the mafia. It's got the Pooh characters. Owls tied in a chair or something.
I don't know what Mr. Toad was into, and he
was
always
into some
dressed
heavy
so
stuff.
snazzy too. Like, what was? I don't know.
Well, he was
Gotta
he's
find out more
a
about
psycho, really, in a sense. You've seen The Wind in the Willows, right? The guy had no control. He had no control, no impulse control. He was out doing everything.
Maybe he had gambling debts. That's what it is.
It's driving, though, was his thing.
That's why he drives so crazy.
He kept stealing cars and driving because he had to drive. He wanted to go fast.
Yeah. We got to do a whole episode on Mr. Toad. There's a lot there that we have to unpack.
There's too much.
There's too much.
Or the other thing is, as adults, we should just let it go. Nah.
No. All right, that'll be another show. Let's move on to Tomorrowland. So we're into Tomorrowland, the last land. On opening day, we had, well, not really opening day, a couple months later, December 24th, we had Flight to the Moon.
Flight to the Moon.
Flight to the Moon? I don't remember that. I wasn't even alive when it opened. Flight to the Moon that's where, okay, so if you go on the People Mover, you hear an announcement, paging Mr. Morrow, Mr. Tom Morrow. Mr. Tom Morrow was in Flight to the Moon.
Uh-huh.
His character would interact with the cast members on that ride. Flight to the Moon, okay. Let me know when it rings a bell. It was later named Mission to Mars.
Ah, okay.
Okay. Mission to Mars in 1975. So basically same attraction renamed. And then after it was Mission to Mars, it closed its doors in 1993, which, okay, so at that time I was alive, but that one I don't remember. It's not in Fantasyland. So I don't know. I guess that could probably be why.
No, but I love that one, Mission to Mars, yeah.
Mission to Mars, yeah. I don't recall going on that. Now is when Julie starts coming into the picture because Mission to Mars closed in 1993, but reopened in 1995 as Extraterrestrial Alien Encounter. That I remember.
That was awesome.
That I remember. My anxieties I already have to take deep breaths. My anxieties are already like going crazy. You have over-the-shoulder harness, so you can't move. It's in the dark. So you have like all your senses to rely on. Basically, this alien got out of its containment. It's running rampant.
Oh, and so great.
You're stuck there in the pitch black.
Perfect. It was a perfect attraction.
Oh my gosh.
It was a perfect attraction.
That was too much for me. And
I remember the new bullet points that it brought on to attractions. Like one of the things was, wait, what year was that?
Alien Encounter was 1995.
95. Well, not new, but one of the new things that they were using was extra audio. Audio that represented the guests that were there, but they weren't really saying. Like someone would yell out, "That's my mother-in-law." Just to get a laugh out of the crowd. But they did it so well. You would. I think the first time I went, I actually thought it was somebody from the crowd who yelled that out, and other things that they would yell out too.
Yeah, like when they finally caught the alien, and then you would like hear squishes, and then like wet stuff would start splashing all over the place, and then you'd hear someone go, "My mouth was open," and then like when you go on it the first time, you're like, "Wait a minute, was that a guess?" And then like you revisit the ride, you're like, "Oh, okay."
At the end where they try to contain it. And they use too much energy and it blows up, so they splash water in your mouth.
Yeah, ew, gross.
And at that time, I mean, you're laughing and yelling, your mouth is open. Most everybody got something in their mouth at the time.
So gross.
Or the best part was, lights go out, the alien has gotten out of the containment, the lights go out, and he's running around the room. So you hear you hear it in stereo. So they have the speakers behind you, and you hear it go from one side to the other, all the way around the room. And eventually he stops right on you.
So you hear him breathing, and then
right in your ear.
He starts chomping. So like, remember it's pitch black. So the way I envisioned it was like he's chomping on the person next to me, because like you hear like chomping like right there, and then like you feel like your harness get pushed down, like if it's right on top of you. It was, oh my gosh, it was the craziest ride.
It was the best. I don't know why they don't do something else like that.
Yeah, that was a pretty intense ride. I think it was so intense that maybe, and I'm speculating here, I could be wrong, but I'm thinking Disney probably thought it was too strong and not, it didn't cater to the younger audience.
Oh, you're not speculating.
Okay, so that's what they did. Okay, so it closed in 2003 and it reopened with the lovable Experiment 626 Stitch. Stitch's Great Escape opened in 2004, only a year after it closed. And it was basically the same attraction, the same exact attraction, except that, it's still an alien, but it's Stitch.
But he doesn't blow up at the end.
He can't blow up Stitch.
Sure he can. He'll come back.
He's too lovable. He's not gonna come
Stitch gonna blow up.
So yeah, it reopened as Stitch's Great Escape, and we had the lovable Stitch. And I remember when they opened that ride, Stitch toilet paper the entire castle. Do you remember that?
Vaguely.
And he like did he graffiti tagged the monorails, like he tore up the entire Magic Kingdom for like a short time.
That's smart.
And then they it's like to promote the ride, and then they of course fixed everything.
But they had to. I mean, at that age, I didn't care for it as much as I enjoyed the previous attraction. How could I? But it was the same thing, but it just,
You're older.
Didn't have that thrill.
To the younger audience and not scared them.
What was weird about it was the fact that you'd get on Alien Encounter, and there was a lot more horror to it from the crowd reactions. You get on Stitch, and there were so many more people laughing. It was weird.
Right.
Everybody was laughing at it. It's like, oh my god, it's such a 360. No, 180.
Because Stitch is so lovable and he's funny, so he adds like the.
I think they should have combined the both of them a lot more. Stitch is gonna eat you.
Well, Stitch and I thought you meant like Stitch and the alien like battling it out.
No. Or maybe the alien comes in and eats Stitch.
Oh no, we can't have that.
Could you imagine?
No. Oh no.
The lawsuits. The lawsuits.
No.
You've traumatized my child forever.
So Stitch's Great Escape closed in 2018.
Yeah.
So and right now that area is stroller parking.
The curse of that building. That building does not know what to do with itself.
Yeah, so Tomorrowland Speedway, the aromas of gasoline have been around since opening day, but it used to be the Grand Prix Raceway. I like that ride if I'm doing it with one of the kids. Other than that, I can't be smelling gasoline.
That's the best part of the ride. That makes the ride.
I get too scared that I'll need to visit the health clinic.
I feel woozy.
I don't want to get headaches.
I shouldn't be driving, but since it's on a track, it's okay. You can't crash.
Like the smell of the gasoline and all of the Disney food that you ate prior is just not gonna go well. So
that's the best.
I can take that one or leave it. It's okay. I don't think it's worth like standing in line for an hour for that one. But
I probably would agree with that. I think what they should do is remove the tracks.
Are you kidding me? That's the only thing that's keeping people alive right now. Have you seen these children driving cars?
Yeah, I know. It'd be fantastic. I would love to join them.
There would be so many crashes. That's the worst. This is why you cannot run a theme park.
Sure I can. I'd have the greatest theme park ever.
For one day.
For a day and a lot of lawsuits, but man, it'd be fun. It'd be so much fun.
So many lawsuits.
And I would be right in there causing the lawsuits. I mean, I know it's my place, but I want to drive this car the way I want to drive this car.
That is terrible.
Listen,
That's
don't put your kids
idea.
next to me in a racetrack because I'll crash into them because it's fun. I don't care how old they are.
Everybody will have to sign waivers before going on the ride.
I'm only 5. You shouldn't have got in the car.
Oh my god, that is the worst idea. Okay, and in Tomorrowland, finally, we had America the Beautiful. It's Walt Disney World's one of their first Circle Vision 360 films. That one, it closed in 1979. It closed completely, but reopened, let me know if things start sounding familiar, as Delta Dream Flight. So,
yep.
Well, America the Beautiful reopened as If You Could Fly, and then that one reopened as Delta Dream Flight. There was like a lot.
Yeah, I remember both of those. If You Could Fly, yeah.
Yeah, I remember Delta Dream Flight. Well, yeah, because that one was around 1989-ish. Delta Dream Flight opened, and if I've been going, I was alive by then, and I've been, I went to Magic Kingdom around that time. I remember Delta Dream Flight. My dad worked for Delta, and he thought he was the king when he went in there. I'm like, Dad, you're not working. You're on vacation. God.
Welcome to my world.
Delta
Who needs
Dream an upgrade to first class?
It's all the same, Dad. It's all the same.
Embarrassing. But yeah, I like Delta.
You go around high-fiving the cast members who work there. Yeah. You know, right? You know.
Show his pin with his wings. Is this tradeable? Delta Dream Flight, that one closed in 1998 and reopened to what we know today as Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin. Buzz Lightyear.
What's your opinion on that?
I like a good arcade-ish type game. However, what I don't like is the basically stationary laser guns. Because you can't really move, and it's like the ride, the area is so massive, like all the targets, it's a huge open space. How do I know if my tiny little laser is the one that's getting the target across the room and not everybody else's? Like, it just I just hope for the best and wait for the rooms that it's like close proximity, like right there in front of your face, because like the massive room that they have and you can't move the gun around, it doesn't work. So I just kind of like hold my trigger down, and you get points just for doing that.
Yeah.
So I just kind of like try to beat the system, but I think the technology in Toy Story Midway Mania is better. Of course, it's a newer ride, but I think it could use some renovations, of course, some upgrades. I like the ride, but I just don't it's not really functional, like I like those kind of rides. I think they're kind of cool. But yeah, and that basically those are the attractions that have been around since opening day that are kind of still there today, kind of not, things that we're familiar with. Do you have any favorites?
Well, not from the list that we just talked about, but
yeah, well, and for Magic Kingdom favorite, we're talking about the 50th. It's the anniversary. What's there now?
Sure.
Maybe something that's not there anymore.
Definitely. I think if I going through all the rides, I think really the only two that would ever stand out for me all the time, always forever, Pirates of the Caribbean or Piratas del Caribe.
Piratas.
And Carousel of Progress, which some people just absolutely hate, and I don't understand those people, and we can't be friends.
No, that's a good ride.
I love both of those.
Ride.
And again,
it's a good one.
Look at it. Tons of animatronics. That's my thing. I love that robotic technology. But
that's funny.
I love those.
Mine, I think, would be, I love Pirates, but if I had to pick, it would be like either Splash Mountain or Big Thunder Mountain. You can retheme it all you want, but the ride itself, I like it maybe because they're long, they're super long rides. So like you're getting, your money's worth and your time's worth. I don't really care too much about the stories, but I like the rides themselves. And then Haunted Mansion, again, a super long ride. There is a story in there, but I like Haunted Mansion. That was a class. So I have something fun. I want to do a little bit of trivia on Walt Disney World.
Okay.
So I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. And
by you mean the audience, right? Not me.
No, you. I'm asking you.
You're going to give me a test.
The audience can play around at home. But
the home version.
Not a test. Pop quiz.
I'm already sweating. Do I need a calculator?
Okay. No calculator.
What about a pen?
Just your mind.
Oh, that's not going to work.
And all right. Trivia time. Okay. So, first question. Let's go into Liberty Square.
Yeah.
All right.
Liberty Bibbity.
We're going to take it.
Liberty Bibbity.
We're going to take it to Liberty Square. How many bathrooms are there in Liberty Square?
Exactly 6.
What? Where do you get 6 from? And how do you say exactly 6?
Exactly 6.
Okay, so for the very first question, you got that one big fat goose egg wrong.
Thank you.
The answer is 0 bathrooms in Liberty Square. There's none.
Of
Why?
course.
No bathrooms are in Liberty Square because Liberty Square is themed in the early 1700s. There was no indoor plumbing, and you know how Disney loves a theme. So there's no bathrooms in Liberty Square.
That is correct.
And I know people are gonna be like, well, I went to Columbia Harbor House and I used a bathroom in Columbia Harbor House, or I went to Liberty Tree Tavern and I used a bathroom in Liberty Tree Tavern. Well, the Imagineers created the bathrooms in such a way that the exact position that they're located in other lands, and they're not necessarily in Liberty Square, even though the restaurant itself is in Liberty Square.
Right. Plus, you smarty pants, you can't have a restaurant without a bathroom. That's a code violation.
Right, but you can magically transport into one of the other lands without even knowing it.
So
like
there's a joke in there. I'm not going to use the joke, but you're in another land while you're in the bathroom. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, you're in another land.
Hey, we're in another land. Hey, buddy, you in there?
Oh my gosh.
You know,
okay, so
you know I'm doing that, right? I just want to be
what?
that clear. That
when you go next time, you're going to be knocking on people's doors while they're trying to do their business and telling them, hey, You know you're in Fantasyland
Fun
right
fact.
now, bro.
Fun fact, guy.
I got a fun fact for you. All right. Next.
Canceled.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Now that you failed that one miserably. Okay.
Thank you.
Which is the smallest? And there's two answers to this one.
The first one.
No, it's not a multiple choice. Which is the smallest and largest theme park in Walt Disney World?
The first one.
Okay, you have 4 main theme parks. Let's break this down, like if I'm talking to a kindergartner. What's the smallest park in Walt Disney World?
That would be, Your Honor, MGM Studios.
It's not MGM Studios anymore. It's Disney's Hollywood Studios. Okay,
That's what I said, MGM.
Okay, so that's your answer for the smallest one, right?
That is correct.
Okay, and what is the largest theme park in Walt Disney World?
That would be the Animal Kingdom, Your Honor.
Okay, so the first answer you got wrong.
Thank you.
Disney's Hollywood Studios is not the smallest out of all 4 of the Walt Disney World theme parks. Actually, Magic Kingdom, surprisingly enough, is the smallest. It's 107 acres, being the smallest park in Walt Disney World. The largest park is Animal Kingdom, so you got that right.
Thank you.
In Animal Kingdom, the attraction Kilimanjaro Safari, the safari itself, the entire Magic Kingdom park can fit inside that safari. Kilimanjaro Safaris is 110 acres, and Magic Kingdom in its entirety comes out to 107 acres.
Wow.
So you got that question half right. So you get half credit. All right, I got one more.
I'm pretty sure 20 years ago I was right with both of them.
20 years ago, but we're not talking about 20 years ago. We're talking about present day, 2022. You got it half right. I mean, give yourself some credit. You didn't fail miserably on that one. All right, last question. What food is not sold in Walt Disney World?
I'm going to go with breaded eel. The final answer. Locked in.
Okay,
Deal
now,
or no deal?
no deal. Now, I can't fact check these right now, and they all sound like really out there, and now I feel like I have to fact check your answers. However, it's not the answer that I was looking for. The answer that I was looking for was gum. You can't find gum in Walt Disney World.
Is gum really a food?
Yes, you chew it, it's a food.
But you don't swallow it. It's like tobacco.
People swallow it, but it just stays in your system for like 6 years.
That's a myth. That's not real. That's as fantastical as Fantasyland.
That is gum.
I call poopy on that question.
No, why? Because you don't think it's a food?
It's not a food.
It's a food.
It's not a food.
You can tell 6-year-old Julie that it is not a food. I have swallowed some gum in my time.
It doesn't make it food. It makes you a bad eater.
Okay, should I have rephrased the question? What's one thing that you could chew but not swallow that's sold?
I have a question for you now.
What?
This
was not
spinning it
planned.
around. How's that?
Plot twist. Okay,
Eh,
go ahead. I'm ready.
What letter does Walt Disney World start with?
The answer's letter W.
You're good at this.
Yes.
I didn't think that
Awesome.
through. I didn't think that
Nope, you did not. But had you had a question lined up, that would have been pretty awesome. Because I was not expecting that at all. All right. So that was fun. I think we talked a lot about our likes, our dislikes, our favorites, and our memories
and
that we've had.
Other stuff that didn't matter at all.
Oh, there's so many things that didn't matter that are not going to make it into the final cut. But if you're listening, if you're out there listening, we do want to hear from you. The two of you, which could just be
that's
me
not
and
us.
playing this 1,000 times. The video's gonna get like 20,000 plays, and it's all us rewatching it.
10,000 apiece.
If you guys are listening, we want to hear what your favorites are, your likes, your dislikes, any memories that stick out in your brain. If you haven't been to Disney and you want to go to Disney, what are you looking forward to? Anything at all. You can comment down below. We also have social set up. You can find us on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok as well.
The TikTok. So make sure you put the in front of it. That's how the cool
TikTok.
Kids say it.
The cool kids are saying the TikTok?
That's what my mom told me. That's what my mom said.
Oh, your mom said. Your mom is pretty cool, so I'll take her word for it. The TikTok. Find us on the TikTok. And we'll pick a comment, and we'll probably pick a couple comments and go over them on the next show. So if you want some airtime, and not really airtime because we won't really have you on, but we'll kind of reread the comments and say your name and all that stuff. So kind of like airtime. But and let me give you the email. So if you guys have any complaints about anything Alex said today, you can also email us at that. You can email us at thatreallyswellpodcast@gmail.com. Comment on any of our socials. We'll pick a few. We'll go over them. We'll answer your comments. We want to hear from you guys as well. And if you had fun today, I hope you did. We kind of did, right, Alex?
Absolutely.
I had fun.
I just feel a little queasy.
Well, you've been on this monorail for like
get
2
off.
hours.
It's ridiculous.
There's so many guests waiting to get to the TTC, but you just will not stop riding this
There's
monorail.
a family sitting right in front of me right now. Hi, guys. I appreciate your patience.
It's the longest monorail ride forever.
I'm sorry, kid.
Yeah, we want to hear from you guys. And if you had fun with us today, if you like what you hear, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Doing all these things will help us
do all the things.
Thank you so much for tuning in. And remember, whatever you do it swell. Bye.
Right, let's do it together. Hold on.
Wait, do what?
The really swell part, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hey.
Wait, hold on. I
What
just gotta pick this up here and turn my head and do the eyebrow. Whatever you do it swell. I thought it was really swell. Just swell.
Swell, just swell.
So
not
let's do
really
one more time.
swell.
Let's do one more time.
Okay.
Do whatever. Like rock? You could do that. If you smell. Well, oh, my mic's disappearing. Whatever you do it. Swell.
Goodbye, everybody.
Yeah. Good night.